So if you're not aware, the iPhone 16 and the iPhone 16 Pro got released last week, and these are my first impressions. First up, the iPhone 16 that I have here in this very saturated pink color. For my limited time using the phone, it seems very much like last year's 15 Plus with some key differences. First up, the camera orientation has been changed to a vertically stacked design, with the camera island shrinking to only encompass the cameras themselves. This is to enable spatial video and photo capture that you can view on the Vision Pro. And this year there is the brand new camera control button, but I will get to that in a second. But outside of that, the size, weight, and feel in the hand is basically the same from the iPhone 15. These phones do get quite a big spec bump from the A16 to the A18 chipset, which should give you a 20 to 30% performance boost from last year. These phones come with 8 gigabytes of RAM to enable Apple Intelligence, but none of those features are coming until next month. Moving on, these phones also have the action button from last year's iPhone 15 line, which you can remount to a few customized shortcuts like mute, flashlight, or translate. And finally, we have the camera control button, and yes, it is a real button. One click will open the camera and a second click will take a picture or a video. If you half strength double tap it, it will open up a menu that you can swipe through to select the camera function that you want. Then you can slide your finger along the railing of the phone to change the settings. I will note that the camera control button is the same distance from the bottom of the phone as the power button is from the top of the phone. So when you're using the camera control horizontally, you have to reach over a little farther than you would normally with the traditional shutter button. Apple says that third-party developers can use this camera control button, and I am very excited to see what people come up with in the future. Now let's move on to the iPhone 16 line. To start you off, you get all of the features of the base iPhone 16, but on these phones you get 3 all-new cameras. A 48 megapixel main camera, a 48 megapixel high-resolution ultra-wide camera, and a 5x telephoto camera that was exclusive to the iPhone 15 Pro Max of last year. I've been testing these cameras and I will be doing a deep dive in my full review, so be sure to get subscribed to the channel. We also now get 4K 120 FPS natively from the camera, which is pretty sick. It also has 25-watt wireless fast charging through MagSafe, which is also pretty nice. Now let's talk about Apple Intelligence. At launch, none of these phones come with the majority of the new AI features coming later this year. At launch, these currently do not have the majority of the Apple Intelligence features they've shown off, or even half of the features that they showed off at the actual event a few weeks ago. Some of that is coming later this fall in a beta, like visual intelligence and the new Siri UI, which if you download the beta, you can get now, but most of the features like Genmoji and the smarter, more personalized Siri might not be shipping until sometime next year. Never buy a product based on the future promise of features.